We have an update on Morice Norris, the Detroit Lions' second-year safety from Fresno State that suffered a really scary injury at the end of the Lions' second preseason game while facing the Atlanta Falcons. Now, if you were unaware, if you didn't get a chance to watch the game, I'll keep it very brief. Morice Norris took a shot to the head. He was making a tackle in the fourth quarter at the very beginning of the fourth quarter on a big run broken by Atlanta, took a knee to the top of the head, and was immediately knocked unconscious as well as spazzing on the ground. It was an incredibly scary injury. He was on the ground for nearly 20 minutes before being evacuated via ambulance and taken to an Atlanta hospital. Now, after this, the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions mutually agreed to just end the game. The Atlanta Falcons snapped the ball just a single time and stood at midfield for 8 minutes as the play clock expired before the NFL officially called to suspend the game. The players met at midfield. They prayed for Morice Norris. The entire Detroit Lions sideline cleared to pray around him as he was being loaded into the ambulance. And it was a very scary moment for the Detroit Lions, a very scary moment for fans, a very scary moment for the NFL. And unfortunately, it was one of probably the worst injuries the Detroit Lions and really the NFL has seen in quite a long time, at least since DeMar Hamlin. But with that being said, we do have some updates this morning, and it is good news. Morice Norris, before the night ended and even before the Detroit Lions left the field, it was reported, and Dan Campbell was telling reporters that he was awake in the ambulance, that he was breathing, that he was speaking. And this morning, we got an update that he has feeling in his extremities and obviously still suffering through that injury and certainly having a massive concussion, but he will likely be okay. He has no paralysis. He has feeling in his, again, arms and legs. And it is really positive news based on what happened last night. So the Detroit Lions safety will remain in the hospital for at least a couple of days. The timeline, of course, is unclear as to when he will return, but Dan Campbell spoke and said that it is good news. He addressed the team and told everybody that Morice Norris will be okay. And although it was a very scary injury, right, it's something that ended the game, right? It's something that I've never seen before. The announcers were saying it's something they've never seen before. The players just stood there. They stood around, they prayed for Morice Norris, and both sides felt like they were completely unable to finish the game, completely unable to play things out. And it was really scary. But we do have good news, and Morice Norris will be okay eventually. Um, Outside of that, I think that, the Falcons handled it very classy. The fact that they just ended the game and were not willing to play the rest of it, the organization handled it really well, and the Detroit Lions sent something out about that as well. But overall, good news this morning. Morice Norris is okay. He is going to be obviously held in the hospital for quite a while. But yeah, overall, a good news for the Lions. So with that being said, we're going to let this sit for a little bit. It doesn't really feel right to talk about the game before we kind of knew what happened to Morice Norris. So I'm going to let this sit for a little bit and then hopefully be back on Monday or Tuesday or even the live stream on Wednesday to kind of recap the game and what happened. So with that being said, that's all I got for you guys right now. Thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, and as always, go Lions.